Welcome back to the Black and Gold Standard Podcast. And I just wanted to jump on here real quick and kind of go over my latest mock draft and just kind of go over some Steelers chatter that and came up this week. And with that said, let's see here. Let's get into this TJ Watt situation. To be honest, I don't know if it's really a situation yet, but it could be. And to me, wherever there's wherever there's smoke, most of the time it's fire. So I just want to know: do you really think that TJ is and told the Pittsburgh Steelers peace out as far as with his contract situation? Because I mean, he's in a situation now that usually the Steelers would take care of him this summer, and nobody's saying that they won't, but it just comes to a point of what would you pay TJ? I mean, you kind of seen him kind of run down last year a little bit. He had some injuries. They never really said what was going on, but you could tell, especially that last month that he was compromised and he wasn't playing at 100%. So it's just a situation. What do the Steelers do? I mean, I'm quite sure TJ definitely wants to be. I don't really think his goal is to be the highest paid player in the league, but he definitely wanted to be paid. Excuse me. He definitely want to be paid more than what Miles Garrett got. Those two's got their little rivalry going on. Miles think he's better than TJ. TJ think he's better than Miles, and I'm quite sure TJ definitely wants to be paid more than him. So we had kind of talked about this earlier in the week, and I would think that the Steelers um, will probably give him that money, but it'd just be a situation where it would be a shorter contract. Like 2 years, 82 million. Like I say, over 2 years, they're not going to be like the Browns and spread that out in over 4 years or 5 years. They just not going to do that. So I'm quite sure behind the scenes, TJ and his people probably been talking to the Steelers. They probably been traded some numbers and who knows? Who knows if maybe the Steelers, came back with something that TJ Camp didn't like. But I was just, wondering, would you be willing to pay TJ Watt that type money? Is he worth that type money? One of the things you hear a lot of people say, well, the Steelers can build up their roster because they're not paying the quarterback. But you pay TJ that type money, that's still a little cheaper than a big time quarterback, but not by much. So, you're still putting that money out there. You're just putting it on the defensive side of the ball, which I mean, it seems like the Steelers are trying to build the offense up. So just a interesting question to ask, and just wondering how this is going to end. So I mean, this is probably something, to be honest, probably won't really know until the summertime. What's going on? Like I say, this is usually the time. Well, not the month right now, but this is the year. A year ahead. That usually the Steelers take care of those type of guys, and you'll see a contract done in the summer. So got to just keep our eyes open, ears open for that, and see um what happens with this situation. Because like I say, wherever there's smoke is usually fire. So got to just keep our eyes open on that. All right. So for right now, let's go to our mock draft. This is our mock draft 4.0. So this is our fourth one. The only difference with this one, I didn't do no trades. I kept the Steelers picks that they have right now, and I just went on and plugged everything in and just took the guys that were available. Like I say, I didn't do any type trades or trade up, trade downs. I just stayed where they were at, and this is kind of what I came up with. All right, so here we go. That first pick 21, Hampton, running back for North Carolina. Um, to me, I think he's probably the second best running back right now. Nice size, nice speed. He's a guy that actually could be a three down back. So, that's a good thing. I love him. I think he would be a big time addition to the offense. Him and Warren could still had that 1-2 punch. I guess at this point he's gonna be a guy that's gonna bring more speed than what Najee brought, and he fits the offense better as far as being a zone running back. So if they could get him at 21, I love it. I love it. Me personally, I don't. It's gonna be tough for him to get past the Denver Broncos at 20, um, because they need a running back. So I don't know. I don't know how realistic this pick could really be. But if he's there at 21, and I'm the Pittsburgh Steelers, I'm running that card up and making that happen. All right. So as we know, Steelers don't have a second round pick, so we go to the third round. Deion Walker. Um, I like his size, 6'7", 331 pounds. I mean, just a little tall, just a little tall. So and sometimes if you watch his film, he plays high, and that could be a disaster. With him playing, getting up high and them guys, guards and centers getting up under him, and they can root him up out of there. But he's a powerful guy. Just something that they will have to work with and keep him low. Coming out his stance. But I really believe this is the type guy the Steelers need in the middle of that defense to to gobble up blocks and also to penetrate that middle and stop the run. So it's a good pick, especially it's a good value for the third round. That's a good player to pick up. You know, in the third round. So I like to pick. When I seen that he was still available, I really jumped on that, and I think the Steelers would do the same. And like I said, just the only issue is he is a little tall. I mean, to be honest, your nose tackle, you really don't want him that tall like that. If he was more like 6'4", 6'3", that's kind of the ideal size you really want. Because like I say, just at that height, he gets pretty high and coming out his stance and a good a good center or guard is gonna get up under his pads and take him for a ride. But the good thing is if the Steelers were to bring him in, he'll get a lot of work with Zach Frazier, and he'll learn. He'll learn. And that's just something you keep him in the shoots and he get low, and especially after a couple times that he'll be looking up at the sky wondering what happened and understanding that he came out his stance too high and them guys got up under his pads and planted them on his pockets. um so it's not really a major problem, but just something that they will have to work on. So in the fourth round, Zay Alexander. I mean, I kind of like this guy. I mean, I don't really think he would really push for a starting position, but he's a guy. He got nice size, 6'1", 187. So he kind of on the light side a little bit, but again, not really a project. He's really more than a project, but just a guy that you just working that rotation, and he can watch Porter work, watch Slay work, and then I really believe he's on the same level of Trice and all the other guys they got there. So I mean, I'm quite sure the Steelers really want to develop a guy because Slay only signed for 1 year. So either him or Trice is going to be that guy, that next guy up. So I think this would be a good pick for a fourth round pick, and I like when I seen him available. I said, yeah, I would definitely jump on that. So I think that'll be a good pick for the Steelers. In the fifth round, I went with another defensive tackle, Ty Robinson. Um, 6'5", 288. So it kind of light, but by getting Walker, you're not really putting him in that middle. So he's basically going to be one of your DNs. I mean, a guy that could work behind Cam Hayward. Just watch, sit back and learn and watch Cam Hayward and learn from him. At 6'5", 288, I have no doubt that eventually he would be a 300-pound guy. He would definitely put on that extra 10, almost 10, 12 pounds. I could see that happening, over the course of his career. So he has a motor, stops the run real good, So I would love that pick. And like I said, with the addition of Walker, you don't have to put him in the middle because he's not a one technique. He's not a nose tackle. So he'll be able to play one of those ends, and he'll fit right in. He'll fit right in. And then the sixth pick, um, Jake Majors. Um, he's a center, so that's a good thing. He kind of you have a backup center, and he can definitely get some reps there. But also, I think you could swing him over the guard. Athletic guy, can move. Nice size, 6'3", 306. And again, he's just a guy that he's going to be a swing guy because, like I say, he probably could play center. I mean, he definitely can play center, but I think he can move over the guard, and just another body to beef up that interior of the offensive line. Young guy, can't go wrong. Coming from a good program, and I think it would be a good move for the Steelers. And then their last pick in the draft, more more of a project, with Gerald Kristen, excuse me, Leiterman, um, offensive tackle, 6'8", 320, 328. So he's a massive guy. And again, he's just another body, seventh round pick. So he's never guaranteed that he even makes the team. But if he makes the team, that's a good thing. If not, probably be a guy that would be on your practice squad. But with that size, big long arms, probably see if he can play left tackle or right tackle. And there's just another body that the Steelers can just try to develop and work with. Like I say, he got great size, um, and just another project that they'll have there to kind of work with. So that's really my 4.0 mock draft. And just want to kind of to go over that real quick. Um, we probably have maybe one more coming out, and that one we're gonna really go more in detail and as far as maybe make some trades or whatever, because that's probably gonna be the last one. Um, that probably be the last one that we do. But with that said, I think that's pretty much it right now. Um, Not really much about, the Steelers did bring in Shador Sanders for a visit. I don't know. Like I say, I would give Steelers credit. They are actually keeping everything under wraps as far as what they're trying to do in this draft. So we'll see. We'll see because honestly, at this point, nobody knows what they're going to do. I mean, because the only thing I can say is either going to be defensive tackle or you just never know. So with that said, that's pretty much it, and we will talk to you later. Take care.